Welcome to my views and news. Saturday's first video. Firstly, yesterday we came to know that Eritrea was interested in having its military trained in Russia. And since then, I've been receiving messages. People in comments section also expressed their views that Eritrean soldiers could be deployed to Ukraine. That Russia could deploy Eritrean soldiers to Ukraine because Russia was facing personnel shortage. Is there any likelihood of deployment of Eritrean soldiers in Ukraine war? Secondly, was Gurage. Less reported arrests are happening in Gurage. A journalist was arrested around 48 hours ago. Before that, a lawyer who was representing Gurage imprisoned people was arrested, and several others have been arrested. Details for you. And third, viewers, Eskinder Nega said goodbye to politics last year. But we saw that he was arrested a few days ago. Then, after massive public pressure, he was released. Amhara Special Force arrested him. He was released. And last night, he released a video message. What is this message about? What are Eskinder's plans? Does he want to resume his struggle? What would be the mode of his struggle? Where will he be based? Firstly, viewers, Eritrea Russia defense collaboration is on the cards. Eritrea has long been a buyer of Russian weaponry. But now this relationship is reaching another level, as Russia is planning to establish a naval base in Eritrea. Though it wouldn't be easy for Russia, because US will try its best to stop Russia from having a foothold in Eritrea. Like in Sudan, Russia was trying to establish a naval base. But we don't know what happened. The military government of Abdel Fattah al-Burhan was approached by the US through Middle Eastern countries. And no tangible progress has been made regarding establishment of Russian naval base in Sudan. We have been hearing about establishment of Russian naval base in Eritrea for the last 2 to 3 years, but no progress on the ground. And Isaias Afwerki was in Saudi Arabia 2 days ago on the invitation of Saudi government. Saudi royal family sent its special plane for Isaias Afwerki, which took him to Riyadh, where some meetings were held. US will try to stop establishment of Russian naval base in Eritrea. It's a separate topic. If US fails and Russia establishes a naval base in Eritrea, you would see strengthened Russia-Eritrea defense ties, and that is why Eritrea is considering training of its military in Russia, which we reported, and Russian news agency reported this development as well. Several viewers commented. They contacted me. They said, Sajid, you are not covering a very important aspect of this news. These Eritrean soldiers, they claim, will be deployed to Ukraine because Russia facing personnel shortage there. Russia-Ukraine war is different. It's not Tigray conflict, which was a closed conflict. No one knew what was happening on the ground. We covered it through unconventional means. We used to get a few satellite pictures after 2, 3, 4 months. And there was no internet, no telephone. It was difficult to cover Tigray war. Russia-Ukraine war is different. entire Western and American surveillance apparatus is there, monitoring each and every development on the ground. So if Eritrea deployed its soldiers to Ukraine in support of Russia, it wouldn't be a secret. It will easily be revealed. I personally don't see the possibility of deployment of Eritrean military to Ukraine. It will have repercussions for Eritrea. Yes, Eritrea has been supporting Russia diplomatically at UN Human Rights Council sessions, UN General Assembly sessions. But Eritrea wouldn't go to the extent of deploying its military to Ukraine, because it will come out and it will become difficult for government to answer questions. Though government is not used to answering questions, still there would be massive pressure upon Eritrea. So I personally don't see the deployment of Eritrean soldiers to Ukraine. Yes, Eritrea could be planning upgradation of skills of its military. That is why it wants its military to be trained in Russia. Secondly was Gurage zone, SNNPR. People struggling for a separate regional state along ethnic lines for years. They want a Gurage regional state like Tigray, Oromia, Amhara. Same is the case with Volaita people. But federal government is not creating regional states along ethnic lines. It created Southwest state. Now it held a referendum in parts of SNNPR for other state, not along ethnic lines. 6 zones, the special 5 Varadas are being made separate regional state. Gurage will remain part of SNNPR. Volaita will become part of new regional state. And people, obviously, some groups in Volaita and Gurage who have been struggling for regional states for years are not happy with this new arrangement. They're protesting, and that is why government is arresting influential people, activists, journalists, lawyers, both from Gurage and Volaita communities. In Gurage, we know that in Valkiti city a few days ago, security forces opened fire at protesters. I think 3 were killed. The casualties were confirmed. Several were injured. People were protesting for water because water supply was cut off to the city. And then Valkite remained sort of under curfew for almost a week. Life returned to normal after a week. Now, those lawyers, journalists who are seen as the ones who are organizing people, they're being arrested. A journalist was arrested around 48 hours ago in Gurage. Bijine Volde is his name. Gurage Media Network he works on. He has worked on several stories there. Bijine Volde under detention, and he has not been taken to a court so far. What are the charges against him? Then a lawyer who was representing Gurage imprisoned people was also arrested last week. Jamber Abdo and Bijine Volde in prison. I have other names too of people. These are 2 well-known names. Several others have been arrested too in Volkaiti, other parts of Gurage, in Addis Ababa as well. That important Gurage people, wherever they are, and they're in a position to organize people, they are being arrested. And no one is reporting. Ethiopian media is largely silent about the arrests of Gurage people. Government is trying to crush the years-long movement for a separate regional state in Gurage and Volaita. In Volaita, we know that a referendum which was held has been cancelled because the people in Volaita, they managed to express their view that they were against the referendum through different means. They expressed their they opposed the referendum, you can say, through different means, by boycotting, by casting too many votes, more than the registered ones, sometimes tampering with ballot papers, etc., etc. That is why in Vilayata, referendum results have been cancelled. New voter registration is underway. Referendum will be held again there. Lastly, viewers, Eskinder Nega, former head of Baldiras party. He founded Baldiras party, said goodbye to politics last year. Suddenly, one day we heard that he was out of politics. Though after his release last year, on daily basis he was seen in public, mostly raising issues linked to Amhara region, mostly working for Amhara interests. And we know that last week he was arrested. This week rather, he was arrested, and attempt was made to take him to outside Amhara region. People resisted. He was taken to Bahirdar, where he was released. His associates were released too. Now, Eskinder has released a video message. Eskinder is condemning the killing and violence at Adwa. And Eskinder said that Adwa Victory Day was not intentionally celebrated in Oromia. He's seen people, hardliners in Oromia, call him anti-Oromo. And once again, he raised the issue that in Oromia, Adwa Victory Day was not celebrated. It was intentional. He condemned the attack on Adwa participants, on Orthodox followers at St. George Church. And he asked the people to unite to fight this government. This last point is very important. He's asking the people to unite. It means in one or the other form, Eskinder intends to continue his struggle. Though he is not part of Baldiras, but he wants to continue his struggle. And he does not want to be in Addis Ababa. His party is mainly in Addis Ababa, but he is in Amhara region. That is why maybe he was released in Bahirdar. He thinks he is safer in Amhara region. His message, last night's message, indicates that Eskinder will continue his struggle. Whether we agree or not with his mode of struggle, with his objectives, but it seems that he will not sit idle. It was said that he was at a monastery with Bible, just studying when he was arrested. And the government never clarified why he was arrested and why he was released. What were the charges against him? We don't know. But this message indicates that Eskinder is back in action, it seems. Thank you for watching.